As a part of the efforts to build a better Bay Area, San Francisco has prioritized housing as the way to end homelessness and blight on city streets, but it's more complex than just giving people a roof over their heads.
Absolutely. As ABC 7 News reporter Leanne Melendez discovered, there are those who are formerly unhoused who now enjoy a home and the streets simultaneously. And Leanne, this is somewhat disconcerting to those that think, okay, we're going to put somebody in their own apartment, and that's okay, then we move on to the next person.
And confusing as well. You know, I think many believe that housing is the end-all to all the homeless issues, and it's so much more complex than that. You know, there are some people who have been given housing who come back to occupy space on city streets. An example of that is a woman by the name of Victoria Solomon, and for the past 2 months, we have been following her as she moves between two neighborhoods. Victoria Solomon has achieved a bit of notoriety in San Francisco's Castro district. For years unhoused, according to Supervisor Rafael Mandelman's office, Solomon was given housing and lives in an SRO in the Tenderloin district. But a few neighbors and merchants complained after she started setting up a tent again in the Castro on different days of the week.
They want to be on the streets. Even if the city provides services to them, they already get used to be with their own freedom.
For a while, Solomon was even parking her car in the Castro district, a 2008 BMW. We ran the plates and confirmed that it was registered to a Victoria Solomon. Neighbors started taking pictures of Solomon and her friends hanging out in the car. A few weeks ago, the city towed and impounded the vehicle after it was no longer running. To be clear, to our knowledge, there is nothing illegal with what she has been doing, except that some say it defies logic when you give someone a place to live and they continue to occupy a public sidewalk, leaving trash behind.
I am frustrated when we do not allow ourselves to address unsafe conditions on sidewalks. That's not okay. That's what we have to change.
In late March, we received this picture from a neighbor showing Solomon sitting on the sidewalk. So after I received that photo, I decided to come down to the Castro to see if I can find her. She wasn't hard to find.
Why does it matter if I come out here? Like, it really doesn't matter. I don't understand why my personal life is what I'm doing after. And I wish can you stop recording me?
There are others who do the same. The city is well aware. In fact, the Department of Emergency Management told us outreach teams are on the streets every day, sheltering people every night, and moving people out of homelessness every day. Despite this effort, 10% of the people Healthy Streets Operations Center encounters self-report they are already housed or sheltered. Zachary Paget is one of them. Do you understand that some people get very upset by watching all of this out on the street?
Yeah, well...
And a home has been given to you.
Right, I mean, I get that. This is my family, these are my friends. I don't have any family out here. I come from Oregon, and these are who I was on the streets with, you know.
Zach, a recovering fentanyl user, told us his friends stay clear of fentanyl, and they make sure he does too. Lydia Branston, a community organizer, says there's a component to this homeless crisis that people often disregard, which is that as social beings, we need companionship and a sense of community.
When people get housing, they don't leave their community necessarily. They keep going back to their community, and it takes a while to have that transition to a new community and a new area.
But some question the fairness of having a place to live while taking up space on the sidewalks. Every person who lives in supportive housing contributes 30% of what they receive towards rent. The city fills in the gap. 60% of the Department of Homelessness and Supportive Housing's $700 million budget goes towards housing.
We are subsidizing, north of 10,000 units in San Francisco that are forever homes for folks where they are paying subsidized rent, and we're providing the subsidy. I think that's good, but we also need to do something about making sure that folks can use our public spaces.
One solution may be to create more community drop-in centers like this one at the Gubbio Project, where people stay in community.
This is a place where people can come and hang out, and those places are few and far between.
As we know, the courts have said that San Francisco cannot remove a homeless person from the sidewalk unless they are offered available shelter. But This is a tricky situation because Solomon is no longer unhoused, and that's why Supervisor Mandelman is so frustrated, because he says the city, the board are not addressing the issue of unsafe conditions on our sidewalks. So it's happening. It's a thing. I mean, we read about 6 months ago and became very interested in it.
Yeah, I think there's a misunderstanding here in terms of the assumption that once they get some housing that they're immediately going to leave the streets. But one thing, I don't know if this has been tried, in other cities, here's the problem. Okay, you're unhoused and maybe you're using drugs and you go up to your apartment, then you come straight back down into the same environment. Other cities have
And which is what happens in the Tenderloin.
Exactly, where you have to remove them from that environment and create housing elsewhere so that they can't just go through the cycle over and over and over again.
And that's why a lot of people tell me, I will never live in the Tenderloin if I'm a recovering addict, because I don't want to go into that situation again. I've been there, done that. Have the shirt to prove it.
Yeah.
You know, the T-shirt to prove it. So yeah, it's a thing. So it's a tricky situation, as he says. So it's something, you know, that we sort of have to continue to adjust.
Yeah, but the changing locations, I think, is key to changing lifestyle. So I don't know if we can really do that. But thank you, Leanne.
Appreciate it.